as we're going to get going into the pistol round right here. It's the final map on Overpass.
Knife round, here we go. Let's see who starts on CT, who starts on T, John. We were talking about that quite a bit before we got into this one. And it's going down to the wire here. Carson with a very rough spot, but he could isolate the 1v1s here, get those right clicks, and maybe pull off this win, but it seems he's going to tuck tail and run and waste a whole bunch of time, perhaps. Oh, the ladder play.
Well, he's done. Suffice to say. I mean, you could try and get a couple of stabs in here, but yeah, I completely forgot about the knife round in the final map here, even though we were talking about it and everything. But yeah, Triumph. What are they talking about in chat? I'm kind of curious. Oh my goodness.
The timer, you know how normal like pug map timers for knife round is like a minute 30?
Goodness.
You see what the timer is now, and boy.
I can't. Oh my goodness. If they wait for an hour, no, that's not going to happen.
No.
Eventually they're going to chase Carson down and this will be done and dusted. If not, I think there'll be a default and it'll be given to Triumph and the admins will step in. But anyway.
B-Wills does say he has an hour to kill.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. Well, are they going to go for a pincer maneuver here? Good old Gallipoli tactic. No, Carson's going to go back to the ladder. Okay, are we finally going to have a fight here? Come on, Carson, be a man. Fight him. Let's go. You know what's going to happen, Carson. Just don't delay the inevitable any further. Come on. You know, I wish we had access to chat to these guys because I would like to. No way. Okay.
Oh god. Well, it's
over. It's over.
Yeah. So Carson does go down. Triumph take it, and I do believe they are going to be starting on the CT side. And
correct.
We're going to get underway in just a few moments.
Let's see, once the sides will confirm. Here we go. Pistol round. It can define a lot here, John. It can set who gets the momentum early. It can set Triumph up for a strong CT start, something they desperately need here. On a map like Overpass, they will need all they can get. One map decides who gets their spot in DreamHack Open. One team will drop to the lowers right after this pistol.
Alrighty, let's go. Triumph and ChocoCheck. First round of the last map of play. Carson going to take the lead here. All 5 ChocoCheck players are heading in towards Fountain, and now they're going to stay back and wait for Triumph to push into them. This is not a bad play because you got 2 players coming in from Playground and 1 over at Long A. I think Triumph will have a bit of a flank here if they're careful, but no. Jasmine takes down Joel. Dixie does manage to get 1, but it's Jasmine with the immediate trade, so despite the fact that Zodic is no longer in the server, ChocoCheck don't seem too phased. And as mentioned, there is still that chemistry between Reality, Carson, and Jasmine that they can play off of. That's a nice shot, though, for Exceed on Turismo to make it a 3v3.
Look at the rotations away from the B side. They're going to have to charge their way back down now as the bomb will get planted. It's on the back of Carson. CJ going aggressive, though, over towards Jungle. Gets taken down by B-Wills. Now it's a man advantage for Triumph. We've seen ChocoCheck be the victors in these situations before, though, so they cannot rest easily. Triumph. B-Wills looking for the first. Exceed dinked down by Carson. They know where he is. But Exceed has the kill, and B-Wills finishes the job onto Jazz Pimp. Kit for hate. He'll grab the defuse, and Triumph will get the pistol round. But again, they let ChocoCheck plant. So this next round is not going to be easy.
Yeah, I mean, good on Triumph at the very least to get another opening pistol round victory as they did on Inferno. And don't forget, they got off to an 8-1 start on Inferno before things started to slip away in favor of ChocoCheck. But, you know, we're on another map where, well, I would say even more so that CT side can really take control if you play your cards right. Like you said, though, there is that bomb plant that did come through for ChocoCheck, so they're going to have a decent buy-up into this round. It's going to be an AK, a Galil, a Deagle, and 2 Mac 10s. But they're just going to play defaults and wait for Triumph to push it. CJ does push up towards long, and he will meet the AUG of Exceed and fall right to the ground. 5v4 advantage quickly for Triumph, but ChocoCheck, well, they're not going to over-aggress back into that position. They do finally make their way up there, but by this point, Exceed says, well, I'm happy to find that opening frag. I'm going to fall back and play this one passively.
That was the Galil that made that first contact, so Exceed, he's definitely low. I do like the toss of the AUG over to 60, though. It gives the high HP player the better opportunity to get more kills, and ChocoCheck, they seem to be running around the map looking for an opportunity in a window, but there isn't really much open here. Triumph are playing more on the passive side of things, as they should. They have their opening pick. They don't need to aggress any further. Hate still has a Molotov, a smoke for B-Will's, Hate, and Exceed. A couple mollies, though, for ChocoCheck, so their take could be very deadly. Exceed could catch them off, at least the information with the jump scout, so he's taking a shot with the scout. He spots out all the information he needs. The smoke comes down. Now it's 60's time to shine. One on the AUG, taking a second on a Turismo, but he is down very low. The trade is in and Exceed is falling. But here comes B-Wills, and bye-bye Jasmine, bye-bye reality. B-Wills and the FAMAS, double doinks.
Whoa, my B-Wills, we saw some magic come through from Inferno. A couple of moments where he was doing some special stuff, but it really was George who we highlighted that took care of the brunt of the work. Now, B-Wills gets himself, as you saw, nice little 2K to cap off the round. He's already at 4 frags, and he has no deaths on the board as of yet. In fact, another player with no deaths is Hates, but he's got nothing else, just zeros, 000 for him. But it's only into the 3rd round of play, of course. ChocoCheck going to be rocking 4 Deagles and the P250 going for the eco round here, Austin.
They've dealt damage on rounds like this, so ChocoCheck can't count them out just yet, but B-Will starts things off nicely. Spam through the half wall. Onto reality. Unlucky there to leave the first casualty. Carson now, between the fire and the flames and the spray of George, will back away. A little worse for wear. 5v3 though for Triumph as they are stabilizing things, not over-aggressing. Nice little construction. More spam from B-Wills. But John, I have to say this is a lot. Oh, I like that little idea there from Hate. Gets a little tad bit of damage dealt. Not enough. But as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by that play, this is the CT side we want to see from Triumph. This is the CT side we haven't really seen from Triumph across the first 2 maps. They get the aggression early, and they drop off. Well, that's a shot. I don't know how it did 98 damage, but it did.
I think another problem here for ChocoCheck and why we're looking more towards Triumph, I would say, in this map is B-Will's going to get Carson and C drop the Jasper. These are clean rounds as well that Triumph needed that they didn't find on Inferno early on their CT side, but then finally got through at the end of that second half. And of course, it's really carried over into Overpass. So good news for Triumph across the board, I would say. And we're going to have a disconnect, it looks like. Reality no longer in the server. Not sure what's going on there, but I mean, we can talk a little bit more. Okay, he's back. Just a brief issue, I imagine, that has been resolved. But yeah, I mean, Triumph looked good early on. B-Will's already up to 7, and they're just cruising along.
Yeah, this is Triumph in cruise control right now. This is Triumph playing comfortable. They're playing around each other. They're taking their fights. They're taking a little bit of risk, but they're not overextending on those plays, which is something that they do sometimes have a tendency to do. They do sometimes go for the little bit of over-aggression, so it's good to see them tempering things here. They're playing things a little more passively, a little more conservatively, but they're not afraid to go aggressive for that opening kill. They just don't overstay their welcome. They don't go for more than they can really chew on. Miss Molotov, though, will allow CJ a little bit more space, and 60, he's in a rough spot in towards Con. Can get sandwiched in, but he's luckily only up against 1 player. That is Jazz Pimp, who will clear the area quite well, but will he expect 60 up here? No, he will not. AK upgrade for 60.
All right, 60. Frag. Turismo trades it back, though. B-Wills is down. 4v4. 119 on the clock here, and Hate goes for a very timely peek on Turismo, but the trade right back from ChocoCheck. They are not giving Triumph much space or room to work with. And you're going to see Carson thinking about going out for Monster. He's got reinforcements. Reality, and Carson does get that opener on George. That leaves only Hate and Exceed to defend here, and Exceed is all the way over onto the A site, so it's up to Hate to at least get one while he waits for his teammate to come forward and hold the fort. Hate does get that one, but traded out immediately by Reality. He's stepping in, probably a little cold, but he needs to get his rhythm, and that will certainly help.
Reality has the utility to the Molly and the Flashbang. It's going to be a split, one Monster Tunnel and one in towards construction and water. Exceed does not have any utility. No smokes, no Molotovs, no Flashbangs, nothing to isolate an angle in time. It's going to become a factor here real quickly. It's planted for player in towards water, but it's fleeting fast. Exceed needs to get a move on here. He hears the first player. He taps the bomb. Carson will swing, but not. He's over. And with the headshot for good measure. So it doesn't even matter in the end.
Yeah, good patience from Carson. Just would not give any type of opening to Triumph. So ChocoCheck do get their first round on the board in their rifle buy-up. In reality, hey, he got his first frag as well. So he's happy to at least break the ice. Maybe he'll be able to find his rhythm into this match. All right, here we go. Round number 5 will be underway. Triumph, well, they were losing. They actually didn't lose that many bodies throughout the first 3 rounds, so I'm not sure why they don't have much of a buy-up here. This is pretty conservative, in fact, because, I mean, they could have got some FAMASas, and even an M4 or an AWP in the mix, but they decided, you know what, we want to go for a full-on proper buy-up, and that nade hurts big time. George and Hayes beat them to go down to less than half health. CJ gets a frag for his squad, but there was one that came through from ChocoCheck right before that. Bomb gonna get planted here. Hate is waiting in the smoke for his opportunity to fly out from it and find something, but CJ and Jasmine really thin the ranks of Triumph, and then Jasmine peeks around and demolishes Hate. That leaves only Exceed with the AK and a 1v4, and you can't really like his chances as CJ, who was great for the squad on Inferno, comes out with a 3K here.
That'll work here from ChocoCheck, abusing that B side a little early on. Last round was against Pistols, so it was a little more costly than they would like, but they do lock things down in the end. Op, though, in the hands of 60, and this is where Triumph can really start to establish a strong CT side. They need to get him aggressive. I'm wondering if he's going to go for that Fountain Peak early on. Let's see what he decides to do. George is relegated to a deagle as he did fully invest in the last round. I think he was expecting his teammates to force, and then they decided not to. So he'll be back on a hand cannon, a little bit of utility. And the Op, it's not going to go too aggressively towards A, but it's going to be boosted up B and Turismo. Victim number 1 here. A little bit of spam damage back onto B. Well, it's actually a decent amount, all things considered for Carson, but Triumph, they have their opening pick, and the Ops rotated up to A site. This is the 60 we know. This is the 60 we expect. Gets the pick one place, rotates elsewhere, and sets up for another.
Carson has the bomb on his back, right behind this smoke. B-Will's waiting on the other end. He is joined by Hate. And now they're going to try and charge through, but B-Will, he is ready and waiting, gets the 2K spray down, pulls out the USPS, drops Reality as well. And they just cannot do a single thing up against him. Jasmine now scratching his head saying, what the heck just went down? You guys had AKs walking into that, and B-Will's had his way with you.
That's just B-Will's things, though. He's been a monster for this Triumph roster. And on plenty of rosters beforehand. Hate will get the last, but it's B-Will's to really shut that one down and leave Jasmine in a pretty unwinnable situation. So now Triumph, they regain their, or they grow their lead, I should say. Would have been a tie ball game should they have lost that round, but they grow it up. 2 rounds now, separating these 2 teams. AK's on 3 for Triumph, too, so they're going to be very happy with that upgraded free firepower.
Yeah.
And ChocoCheck are going to invest a little bit, actually considerably a bit
Force
more
buy.
than...
Yeah,
they're going to go for this force up here. 3 AKs, Tech 9 and a Deeg. And they're going to go out towards A and Con initially. Nobody's really facing early on.
Honestly, I like the decision, right? You're down by 2 rounds. You've got enough to buy up 3 AKs, a Deagle, and a Tech 9, along with about half the usual utility. Why not? Try for it. Maybe you can pull off some magic here against this Triumph roster that does have, like you mentioned, 3 AKs and M4. And the offensive defense, those AKs add that one-shot headshot potential on the defense, certainly. Not easy to deal with if you're ChocoCheck. By the way, guys, just an update here while we have a moment. Mythic have defeated Arrows 2-0, 19 to 16 on Nuke, and 16 to 12 on Vertigo. So they're in the consolidation final, and we'll face the loser of this matchup. George gonna get a couple for himself, though, on the Triumph side. Makes it a 5v3, and B-Will's around the corner. That's Pillar, where he gets the advantage on Gas. Finds another one, and another 2K for B-Wills. CJ, the last one standing in a 1v4, but Triumph, all 5 standing in the previous round, the opportunity to bring another 4 in the following one, and there it is. B-Wills, the 3K, 4 rifles carried over, economy built up in a very big way.
John, in the rounds Triumph have won,
yes,
they've had 4 alive twice, 5 alive once, and 3 alive twice.
Yeah.
It's basically as good as it gets on a CT side. You keep your 3 or more alive, you're going to be setting yourself up well economically. But also, I have to note, B-Wills has 14 kills 7 rounds into the game.
Yeah, that's pretty nutty. And 60's gonna rack up another one for himself on CJ. That's a quick pick towards Fountain. Very typical push from the offer, and 60 racks up another one. Turismo and a third. Why not? Maybe the 4K gonna come through here on the anti-ChocoCheck. I can't do anything, and 60 does indeed find the quad. 6-2 in favor of Triumph. And yeah, I mean, getting 60 rolling as well with the AWP, and B-Will's 14 frags. Like you mentioned, he's got more than 2 frags per round at this point. Yeah. It just
That's
hurts.
a dangerous combo.
It just hurts for ChocoCheck losing their top frag. Literally, their top frag is gone from this match. It's a strange occurrence, I have to say. I don't think I've ever seen that before. But, yeah. At least not without some sort of explanation, right?
Well, Turismo's gonna he's here. Hate goes for 1. Turismo takes it a second, spraying away onto a 3rd, but George will stay alive for now. But it's time for B-Will to pick up the pieces. Makes it another double kill. It seems he doesn't get more or less than 2. He always seems to come up with more. 60 dropping down in towards sight. Has the decoy out. Caught out by Jazzpim, though. And George, he was the one damaged early on. 20 HP in a 1v2. No utility, but he does have a kit walking through a smoke. Might not be expected here, but CJ around Monster Pillar. Ready to catch him off now. The construction angle is watched. It is expected. And the M4 will not win a duel against an AK when he has HP. And now George has revealed his position, so presumably he's just trying to bait out an overpeak. He's not going to get that, though. ChocoCheck don't have the money. They know where he is. And George is going to have to fall away. 3-6.
He could get a frag here, though. Nope. It's going to be CJ who will find that. George goes down, but Triumph still have more than enough money to absorb that round loss. Let's ChocoCheck take a 3rd for themselves. Going into round number 10, looking at that scoreboard once more, B-Will's up to 16. Had 2 frags in that round, but just not enough to help his team get to victory, even though, yeah, he's playing out of his mind right now. Plus 13 kill to death differential. Looking over at ChocoCheck, it's Jasmine at the top with 7, and right behind him, CJ at 6, but everyone below a KDR of 1 right now anyway for the ChocoCheck roster. We'll see if that will soon flip on its head, as they're going to come back here with AKs across the board and pretty much full utility into this round. So you're just going to wait for that train to pass on by. He's got his Molotov lined up to be thrown onto this B site.
Great little nade there to start things off. Turismo down to 60. I do like this fountain control coming out too from Exceed. He has Sexy there to back him up. It's a really good A-hold. They can overstack this B-side, expecting this take. The utility's going to telegraph it more. Hate's got an 8 out, but B-Wills has the first. George drops the smoke here. Waiting to swing. It's going to be Carson forced back away. CJ closes the gap. Catches throw down, but Hate's there to back him up. Sprays for a second. Looking for a 3rd. Can he swing onto it? He's got a hard clear towards Monster. Gets a dink. Jasmine low, and Jasmine will not get another. B-Wills, however, will get 2. Making a 3rd for B-Wills, as B-Wills goes unseen yet again. He only gets multi-kills, and he's almost to 20 kills at this point. Great double kill with 8. Oh, just hard clearing that last there. Tunnel vision there for him, and Wills is there to clean up the mess.
This is unbelievable work from B Wills as he's up to 19, almost 20, and this first half still has 5 rounds left in it to be played. This is very much the B Wills we've seen throughout ESEA Premier in Season 38, where he has 179 frags in only 7 maps played, a plus 61 kill to death differential, 1.52 KDR, 98.1 ADR, and here's the 3 kill plus round stat that he's kind of flexing. 15, and wow, Exceed gets a couple here. George going to get reality, and ChocoCheck can't really do much with these demons. As B Wills, well, he racks up another frag for himself, leaving only CJ stranded alone, but he gets one and only one as Exceed finds the 3K. But yeah, just to finish that thought there, Austin, B Wills so far in Premier, 15 3Ks, 15 3 kill plus rounds, 12 of those 3Ks, and 3 are 4Ks.
Great bit of multi-kill work, and it's hard to deal with someone who consistently gets multi-kills too. Because yeah, you get one isolated kill, sure, it hurts you, but it's not going to break you. You get 2-3 kills against you on an entry like that, you're not going to win the round most likely. There's almost no chance you do. And B Wills is single-handedly shutting down ChocoCheck here in this game. They're going to go for the hard flash play towards B though. The Molotov will barely singe Carson. He's already going forward. Hate's going to flash forward, drop a smoke out on side 2. Carson though rips the head off of Hate. George up close and personal, spots out one. B Wills though is there for the kill. 60 lands one on the CJ as well. They've not cleared him. They're starting to focus onto him though, but he lands the kill onto Jasmine. Reality next in line, just about to show. George knows he's there. He knows there's another one of Turismo elsewhere on the map, but the side on south. Turismo though gets himself 2, but George, 2 kills on the USP on a gun round. Gets himself the Hattie over from Toxic and Triumph. 9 rounds to 3. They are storming away with this map. And, well, I expected Triumph to have the upper hand here in this map, particularly after ChocoCheck lost Exotic. I did not expect this.
Yeah, well, I still, obviously, we still don't know who's going to be running the op here for ChocoCheck, in particular when they get to their CT side, but they don't appear to want anything to do with the op on the T side going to the 3K. George going to farm here for a 3K. Hello, peeks out of connector, gets the gift of 3 players lining up for him, and does not waste the opportunity. Carson now the last one standing after 60 finds one, but man, oh man, great work from George. He's starting to wake up. 60's looking good. B Wills is absolutely a monster right now, and nothing going ChocoCheck's way.
That was a huge flash. He blinds him, and George just knocks him down. They were put on a platter for him to finish up. Fish in a barrel describes that one well. Carson's picked up the op though from the fallen 60, and now he's domed George too, bringing it to a 1v2. This is where things get a little bit scary for Triumph. There's a lot of time for Carson to work around, and he's now upgraded to the AK again. More hospitable for this situation in a 1v2 than the AWP. He's got some smokes to use. B Wills though in towards connector, getting all the sound cues, giving Hate the information, feeding him the sonar. Hate's waiting. Carson, nowhere for him to really go besides all the way through Monster and onto B. Hate, he's over in towards bathrooms, will get passed by Carson. Walking knife out in towards that ace site. Will not clear bathrooms most likely. He'll probably plant for himself, which would be towards bathrooms. Not expecting Hate to be anywhere. He'll plant front dice and well, Hate swings. A little bit of spray there too. And Triumph. They've got their 10th round. They're going to continue to build on this.
Look, thought that first frag per reality that happened in round number 4 would perhaps be a trigger for him to really start racking up the kills, but he actually hasn't found one since that point. So maybe a little bit of a weak spot here on the Triumph roster. And I mean, it's understood. Reality hasn't played at the Premier level since season 34. That's 4 seasons ago. 2 seasons of Premier under his belt, and he's a really good player, but he decided that he wasn't going to play competitively after that point. And yeah, decided to go for more coaching roles, I believe it is. The thing is, it's so hard, right? You're thrown into map number 3. I understand that it's not easy, especially under these types of circumstances with an opportunity to qualify for DreamHack.
Yeah, I can't blame the guy at all. He's probably not warmed up. He's probably not ready to go. Probably just thrown in cold and kind of just like, okay, I'll play, but don't expect anything out of me. George is also pushed all the way through Monster and got the bomb down outside T-spawn. So this round is crumbling down again for ChocoCheck. B-Wills finally does die. Turismo, okay, makes it a 1v2. It would be a 1v4 if he pulls this off. Exceed's going to group up with George, though. I don't think he can win this.
No, he doesn't have the bomb. Triumph has bomb control. 45 seconds left. You're going to have to win a duel with at least one player just to get the bomb back. Then you have to run back to the bomb site and get it planted. It's too much to ask for, I think, for Turismo, who will likely just be happy to save the AK, the body armor, and the flashbang into this next round. You know, he is going to look around, maybe spot someone out, but he has to go for the frags. There's just really no choice.
They have max loss, so there's not really a point in saving the AK here. If he can get another kill, maybe it opens something up. The money on Triumph's not great, but doesn't clear the corner all the way. And Exceed will capitalize here. 11-3, John. A chance for a 12-3 half. And where was the last time we saw a chance for a 12-3 half?
That was on Mirage, of course, for ChocoCheck in that case. But that was when Zodic was still around and kicking here, and he was looking quite good on Mirage. But
I don't think that's the only problem, though.
Yep.
You can't just blame reality for it. You can't blame him at all. Nobody else is really fragging on another level, on a level equal to any of the Triumph players. It just seems that Triumph have this CT side on lock, and well, it's already going to start off well for Triumph, the opening pick. George will make it a second. He'll get shredded out, but Jazz Pimp working in as a in the hands of 6Z. B-Wills trades, and Turismo's now in a 1v3.
Yeah. Well, he's going to get one. Exceed goes down, makes it a 1v2, and this is viable. I mean, he's got the bomb under his control this time. 1:19 on the clock. Plenty of time for him to work with. Utility's a little tough, though. Only a flashbang to work with. That said, if he decides to go all the way towards his B site and hightails it there, he will have a free plant. And even if he doesn't run, he can continue to walk here. It looks like Triumph are committed to going for the aggressive play in towards Fountain. Maybe they're going to decide to go into connector and lean into B, and that certainly would be the right decision. Turismo, if he looks at the right spot at the right time, could get the opening frag, and maybe a nice transfer will help him secure this round. But 44 seconds remaining for him to go for this clutch. Oh, it's over. B-Wills gets it, and that's going to make it 12-3 at the half in favor of Triumph as we head to a break.
Leaving you alone, well that ain't me. Driving down the boulevard, I see you. Looking, thinking, could it be you? Shopping sprees all on my car. If you let me, I would give it all to you. Driving down the boulevard, I see you. Looking, thinking, could it be you? Shopping sprees all on my car. If you let me, I would give it all to you.
Boom, ding, ding, ching, ding, dong, boom, boom, chicken, boom, boom, bang, bang, ding, ding, oh, chicken, boom, boom, bang, bang, chicken, go, go, chicken, do, go, bang, bang, boom, 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 we bang, 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 go, chicken, bang, 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 you boom, bang, bang, go, 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 bang, 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 dong, dong, bang, chicken, do, go, bang, 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 ding, bang, ding, bang, bang, ding, 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 chicken, ding, bang, bang, bang. a chica, a booba booba, a chica, foot, a chica, foot, a chica, a chica,
All right, we're back, and we've got someone who's coming back into the server as well here, Austin. Zodic has returned, and he's going to play in this second half on the CT side of Overpass. Maybe it was strategic. Maybe they wanted to have reality on T side and then bring in Zodic on CT side with that AWP. And I mean, I guess this does change the complexion of the match, but still, it is quite a daunting scoreline here that they're staring down at.
No, it does change the match a little bit, but also at this point, you lose pistol, you're down 15-3.
13-3.
You can't come back from that. It's not going to happen. So,
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say 15-3 right away, Austin, right? I mean, you got 13,
Yeah.
maybe you can get a 4 spot, but I get your point.
it's just, there's no margin for error anymore. You've put yourself in a nigh unwinnable situation, and, well, what can you really expect when you throw a guy in cold and then expect him to go into the final map of the series? And then you're going to swap him out again. It makes no sense to me. My brain is trying to grasp this, and I can't.
I don't know. I have no words to describe this, so I guess I just won't. As we're waiting, I think they're checking into everything, making sure we're all good to go here. Yeah. Looking at that scoreboard one more time. Look at B-Will's. Unbelievable performance from him in that first half.
Oh, yeah.
It was unbelievable. I mean, I've said it twice because I don't know how else to describe this. 24-4, a plus 20 kill to death. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he's got the same amount of kills as his next two teammates combined and exceeding 60. That's an insane scoreline. 4 deaths throughout 15 rounds of Counter-Strike, 138 ADR. He is having himself a map. And this one could end very well before he could make himself a 30 bomb, given the scoreline here. So, realistically, I mean, B-Wells, I think he's just going to go do his thing, which is frag out, and that's what Triumph need him to do. The rest of the squad, you can't even say has played bad either. They've just not had any opportunity for kills because B-Wells is stealing it all.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're still waiting to get ready to up here, guys. In fact, we're going to get everything sorted and hit a quick break. We'll be right back after this. All right, here we go. It's all been resolved. We've got the second half, which will be getting underway right now. Zodic is back in the server for ChocoCheck, but Triumph have built up quite a lead in his absence, 12-3, and they're looking to make it 13 here with a pistol round victory onto their T side, and they want that spot in the DreamHack Open. Let's see if they can find that round that they're looking for, at least to kick things off here in the second half.
George and B-Wills holding onto the utility for Triumph. Smoke, 2 flashes, and Molotov B-Wills. I'm surprised he's not the one with the armor. He's the one with utility instead. Exotic taking some shots down range. Not going to catch anybody off just yet. 60 though caught off by Turismo. That's a good start for the CT side. They're going to barrel in towards A side. Carson has one on the CZ. Turismo coming in now. George, 1 exceed, making a second, but Carson's still standing tall in towards options. George has 2 more kills, and it's all collapsing, but CJ brings it to a 1v1. George needs 4. Swaps to a USP, plants that bomb, plants it for Bank, and that's where CJ's moving. He's all the way down towards the B site, and eventually, I think George is going to have to wise up to this move. He has to get antsy here. He has to feel that maybe he's going down towards B. Has he heard it? I think he's heard it, John. And well, it's going to come down to who hits the shots, and CJ's got him down to 1.
I think George is going to try to run away and get away from this angle. He does, but now he's going to peek it again and again. He's going to charge down his CJ, and CJ will take it. I don't know if he has time to defuse, though.
He's got plenty.
Okay. All right. Get time to defuse, and that is going to be the round here for ChocoCheck. 4th on the board, but Triumph still has an 8-round lead to work with, and they got that bomb plant in, so this buy-up is going to be pretty good.
They got those 4 kills. George, at the very least, will have an AK with maybe a bit of utility to go along with it. 60 will go AK full utility, so I guess Hate is going to go for that old sponge buy when this economy change came out, where you have one player drop an AK over, just go Deagle, no armor. Exceed will have Deagle with armor, and B-Wills will sit himself on a Galil. But this is a very strong posturing from Triumph here. They're ready to go up against 4 MP9s, a lack of utility, and an M4 on CJ. This is not a strong buy from ChocoCheck. In fact, I have to favor Triumph in terms of overall weaponry here, particularly the 2 AKs alone. This is not going to be an easy round for either team, but Triumph, they should win this one if they play their cards right.
Well, they're taking their time. Looks like they're going to change gears. Now send 3 players up short, probably 4. And they're looking to take these bathrooms and make sure that no one is in them. Jazz Pimp on the outside towards short A could do a lot of damage up close with this MP9, and Triumph doesn't know that he's around this corner. Come out, Shadow shows, but B will win the engagement. Zotic though gets the trade, trying to find another one, and can't. George from long A drops him to the ground. Bomb gonna be planted by Hate here to make it a 4v3 post plant.
We're just still going to hold on to that AK despite being low on health. The retake's going to come through all through CT spawn, or up through Bank, I should say. 60 though, first contact, sprays away, he's gone. Carson will trade it back, but he's down to 1 point of health. And there's still too many players here to find. CJ dropped Exceed though, making it a little messy. Hate, however, trades it back. CJ's at 10 HP. There's no chance for this round, surely. He's on the bomb. The spam's coming in. The time is dwindling, but George gets the kill. The smoke fades and reveals the position of CJ just in the nick of time. And Triumph will win their force buy. It was not easy. It was not clean, but it is their 13th here. And ChocoCheck are going to force.
All right, ChocoCheck definitely, well, they need the rounds, so they're going to force up here for Deagles and the CZ. A little bit of utility to work with as well. A couple of smokes, a flashbang, a nade, and the decoy coming through for them. Over on the Triumph side, where they're going to keep those AKs in their hands. 3 AKs, the Galil and the MP9 picked up off the ground in the previous one by 60. His corner jumping with the Deagle for whatever reason. He gets demolished by 60, and Turismo waiting in pit does get one. He's got his player, his teammate, in fact, in that smoke. Just jumping on the railing, and I don't think they're going to spot him. Well, now 2, and yeah, Hate's going to get a couple, right?
Yeah. He's gonna mop that up easy. He's been really good on those swings around pit, even on CT side. Now on T, it's just gonna be a little more easy for him to get those kills. Zonic coming in here, not able to get anything done. 14-4. Only Turismo finding a kill, and ChocoCheck backs up against the wall here, John. Do they force? Do they save? There's really no win here.
No. There really isn't, and they are going to force up. It will lead to 4 Deagles and the MP9, but the scoreline, again, it was already daunting at 12-3, now 14-4. What can you do? I mean, if you don't force up, you have very little chance of coming out with a round victory here, and you're probably going to be fighting 11 rounds in a row just to try and push to overtime. So at least give yourself a fighting chance. And a Jasmine, use that Deagle to get the frag 60, but it's George to come right back. Trade and another one for himself. 4v2. Triumph continue to charge on over to this B site. One player, Turismo, is isolated here with the MP9 close, and he will not be able to take down B-Wills. It is all up to Zodic to try and keep Triumph off of match point.
Zodic, he does another body shot, but he gets finished off by George, who's really coming alive here. B-Wills hasn't had too much in terms of kills in the second half, only 2. Yep. Meanwhile, George is now second top of the scoreboard with 19. So I guess George is continuing his performance of Inferno and continuing to just dominate here on the T side of Overpass. Match point, series point, and qualification point here for Triumph. They have 11 tries to get it done. So, odds are they should, at the very least, pick up this last round, but considering the buy of ChocoCheck, this very well could be the last round of this series.
It absolutely could. 3 MP9s, though, you know, never know what will happen there. Cars in the opening frag, and Turismo gets B-Wills. That's a man advantage in favor of ChocoCheck, but George, I mean, for the second consecutive round, is getting things back under control for the Triumph side. That said, the HP is not too pretty for both George and Hate, so these MP9s could come and farm some frags.
There's still the Eagles,
one
too.
MP9, right? Yeah. Oh, George is going to get another one for himself. Carson goes down. Zodic the trade. ChocoCheck still a chance, but it's all down to Zodic for the second consecutive round, and this time it's for the series. That nade connects on him, gets him down to 64. Now they know where he is because he just fired off a shot from the Eagle. They have to get the bomb. They don't need it, though. Hey, gets the headshot. That's going to be all she wrote. 16-4 in favor of Triumph as we head to a quick break before wrapping up here, guys.